Alright lads, so it's the second day of the new very hard guild quests. Yesterday we did do our 5 initial attempts on a live stream. Today I wanted to have a more video focused guide almost, or more so demonstration of the team that I'm using to beat this quite difficult quest to say the least. So in this case, we are going against the ranged REAPER guild quest. So of course, that means we want to bring ranged REAPER killers. Now, one of the better leads, and almost one of the cheat codes to beat this particular quest is Sanfan Ichigo. He's really good here. With a tracking vortex SA2 that can constantly apply weakening and also paralysis. That allows our entire team just to be significantly more safe, take less damage. He himself can do respectable damage, especially on the sword bomb. So that makes him one of the better characters for this particular quest, especially because in the fact that he is a premium character. I know not everyone has his character max transcended, but a lot of people do. He's been in lots of really good banners. You probably have this character. You probably have him duped out. Now, one additional great thing about him is that he does have shared complete stats immunity, and that's really good if you're using sides that aren't immune to the status ailment. By using him, by getting inflicted with a status ailment, it makes it so your sides are also immune, which is really good. So the way we're building him this time around is pretty much the best possible build for an SP character: T-set, fortification build, and also a sticker. The links include recharge. That's very important. We always want to make sure we have strong attacks available. And any extra damage that we can get through the full stamina or strong attack damage is also important. So definitely use those resurrectable soul traits. They definitely are meta in this particular quest. He is max transcended. That definitely does really help here. And then for bonus abilities, we went with full stamina damage and also damage to paralyzed enemies. Usually, using a main like Ichigo, you would go with weakened defense, but we found damage to paralyzed is significantly better here because we aren't clearing all waves in just one attack. The extra 20% we can get on any given boss is significantly more valuable than just 30% more damage after I use my soul bomb. 6th Anniversary Aizen is going to be our next best character here. You can also equally use him as a main if you really want to. I just found more success with Ichigo. But as a side, he's also equally good here, right? In this case, exact same builds. When it comes to the accessories, links are very similar to just a mixture of recharge, full stamina damage, strong attack damage, for example. Once more, also max transcended. Very similar to Ichigo. I know everyone's not going to have this character max transcended, but he has been in the game for 2 years now. He had his Brave Fest banner where you guaranteed him. There's a good chance you have 6th Anniversary Aizen max transcended, or at the very least duped out, especially if you have been playing the game over the last 2 years. So when it comes to his bonus abilities, very similar to Ichigo, full stamina damage, damage to paralyzed enemies. Our first thought is Tokinara. Now this can be anyone else really, another booster, Kiryu, Orihime. It could also be a third SP character. There's definitely a few other characters you can use here. Personally, I like using Tokinara. I'm going to use him here. Now when it comes to using a Nat character, you want to make sure you have a Golden Chappie, and also Hollow Bait. Usually you would use a sticker, but since every boss here does have over 4,500 defense, you want to make sure you have above 4,500 attack. So with that, Golden Chappie, and also Hollow Bait gives us the most attack possible. And keep in mind, at least when it comes to Nat characters, this will get easier once we do get the new stat increase bonus abilities. When it comes to the soul trait, I wanted to make sure that he can get as much damage as possible while also being able to stack that boost. One thing about Toki is that he does have a boost SA2. That's really important for Nat characters to get the extra 33% attack, focus, and defense. And since non-attack damage and recharge soul traits don't exist, full stamina damage and recharge is our next best thing, especially if we can't keep Tokinara at full stamina. He is max transcended. That again definitely does help. And once more, full stamina, damage to paralyzed enemies is the play that we went with here. So let's jump into the run. Alright then, so here we go. What we're going to do straight away is use our soul bomb. Now, in this case, since we don't apply weakened defense, we can kind of use our soul bomb whenever we want to. I found it better to get the SP boost right away and just to guarantee inflict the status on them, right? And that's going to allow us to get straight into the next stage. Ideally, going into the next stage, since we have that 2-second cooldown period, which does give us a few extra seconds to, you know, have a strong attack or two come back. Unfortunately, Aizen uses SA2 there right into the next wave. That's not really ideal here. And that's kind of the RNG when it comes to this quest. But essentially, you want to make sure you have an SA2 or SA3 ready when the next wave does spawn in. That way, no one's taking damage, right? And hopefully we can inflict the status ailment, so therefore our entire team can do more damage. You're kind of also working against each other here. Sometimes Aizen will use the SA2 and inflict the status ailment. This really isn't the best position right now. Let's use our SA1 right away. Unfortunately, you can kind of see there that was a bad example. I didn't have my SA2 or 3 ready, and unfortunately, I took a hit. Tokinara took a hit. Aizen also went down, although we might still actually beat it. Let's see how this does go with all the way through. Let's use our SA1 there. Yeah, we actually, Even though we messed up, we'll take it just for our first initial attempt. We still beat it, which is nice to know that you can make some mistakes and still beat the quest. So as of right now, when it comes to the, first edition of Very Hard, the main important thing is to beat it. If you can beat it, it doesn't matter if there's a minute left, 10 seconds left, 20 seconds left. The most important thing is that you did beat it. All right, so let's try that once more. Again, instantly gonna use my Soul Bomb. That's gonna apply the stats element. Can use my SA2 right there. Luckily, Aizen didn't actually use a strong attack. That's kind of good. He did use the SA2 there, but it didn't actually, the initial hit at the very least, didn't actually hit the main boss, which is kind of unfortunate. So we're kind of hoping it. Again, Aizen's kind of messing up with the SA2. Maybe that's my fault for not killing all the mobs. But we are going at a pretty good pace. Let me go down here. SA2 right from the get-go. As you can see, no one is getting hit, which you love to see it. Aizen then uses the SA2. That's really good. This is actually a really good run. Hold on. SA3 into the 2. Hopefully we can inflict paralysis. Looks like we did. This is going to be a really good run here if we can just get the SA1 out. There we go. Wow. That right there is very similar to my personal best. I think my initial best score is 1 second faster than that. But this is essentially a 30-second run. It did essentially take us 40 seconds. But remember, in between each individual phase, there's like a 2-second cooldown. And to counteract that, they did give us 10 seconds of extra time. So technically it's a 40-second run, but at the same time, technically it's a 30-second run. But yeah, right now I'd say this is one of the more consistent teams. It's great to see it consists of 2 premium characters, some of the better characters in the game anyway, and the Vortex attacks, especially right now in Very Hard, have definitely seen significantly more value. Any character with the Vortex is going to be really good as a main or a side in Guild Quest. Tokinada was our Nat character, doing some really good damage too, but again, he's replaceable with any other Nat character with a boost SA2, or any other SP character, right? I have seen some teams of beating with 3 SP characters, so it definitely is possible, but the keys to beating those, whether you're using an SP team or a Nat team, is having some Vortex characters. Being able to stack the Vortex, never letting them hit you, is definitely key to beating this particular quest. Next up, though, we're trying a different team. In this case, a more traditional team to a certain extent that you are going to see in different types of killers, for example, and that consists of using 1 SP character and then 2 normal attack damage characters. Now, in this case, I really like the combination that we have going on with Ichigo and also Rose. So have a look at Rose's build. Again, exact same build, right? Golden Chappy, Hollow Bay. His links consist of normal attack damage links because he's going to be one of our main DPS characters. Once more, 1,000 additional attack, 1,000 additional focus. Now, the reason why he's a good partner to 7th anniversary Ichigo is because Ichigo's constantly paralyzing. In Rose's case, he can also paralyze, but he does do more damage to paralyzed enemies. With that, we can give him full stamina, damage to paralyzed enemies. Overall, he's going to do a good amount of damage. However, keep in mind, Rose in this case is not immune to paralysis, so he can get paralyzed. So what we are going to have to do in this particular quest is make it so Ichigo can get inflicted with paralysis, and with that, the shared complete stats immunity is going to give that immunity to Rose, allow him to attack in this particular quest. So let's go into it straight away. We're going to, again, use our Soul Bomb right just to get the instant attack off. Mainly just to get our SP boost, right? I used my SA3 there, probably didn't need to. You can see Rose is immune to a stat summon, which is great to see. I'm just going to stand here just to make sure that he can be immune next time, because you want to make sure he's staying in the middle, but since he's a ranged character, he's always kind of in the back. So SA1 there, then we're going to use our SA3 right away into the 2. Once more, making sure I'm always standing on a status augment pool. And this again is going quite fast, to be fair. 40 seconds left. This team I'd say is more consistent, actually, and potentially you can get a faster score? Potentially, ooh. Very similar score, but I think we could have just gotten faster there. And that would have actually been a new personal best. And never mind, it was a new personal best. Just by like milliseconds, if anything, but we'll take it. We would gladly take it. So it looks like at the very least, the Nat characters, a 2 Nat character team with 1 SP character as your main is the better route to go down. Because at least when it came to Aizen, I did note that sometimes he would use a strong attack right at the end of a particular boss phase. And that's a lot of wasted DPS. Nat characters in particular don't have any wasted damage because they're always using their Nat string. Alright then, so attempt number 2, let's try that once more again. I'm going to go straight in and inflict the stat summon with the Soul Bomb. Might as well use our SA1 there. Hopefully I can get paralyzed so the Rose can get immune, right? I think I found myself spending a bit too much time trying to get immune and not do enough damage to the bosses that we wasted a couple seconds. Let's use our SA3 there into the 2. Unfortunately, Tokinada has been hit there. That's kind of unfortunate. We are getting lucky with our stat summon procs, which is really cool. SA1 right away into the 2. At least Rose hasn't been hit yet, and he is immune. But this run does look to be a tad bit slower. Let's finish up with the SA2 into the 1. We inflicted a status ailment. We get the SP boost. We're doing the more damage now, and then we get to finish up with the SA3. So very consistent runs on both sides of the table, whether using a double Nadcow team or a triple SP team. Right now, though, at least for today's tickets, I'm not going to try and go for a new personal best. I already did that, to be fair, but I definitely will be trying at least tomorrow. And lastly, for our very final ticket, we're going to be using a triple SP team, a triple Vortex team. And it does consist of using the new Burn the Witch Noelle. She's actually really good in this quest. Now, I'd say she's a better main than a side because she's not immune to status ailments. But I do believe this team can beat the quest. Haven't actually tried it yet. I was able to do it on my alt account, though, using this team. And one thing I would say, at least when it comes to this team in particular, is that you are using 2 hard characters, so your links are kind of spread. But essentially, Noelle, exact same build as usual when it comes to SP characters. We're going with Recharge and Full Stamina. She's only 1 out of 5, but level 10 SP with full stamina and weakened defense. She has that built in, so it's double weakened defense. Now, that's going to allow us to make quick work of any given boss. Aizen, exact same build. This time, though, he has damage to drained enemies. Remember, in guild quests, especially the very hard and hard guild quests, the enemies have an 80% resistance to weakening. So weakening only lasts like 2 or so seconds. So whether me or Aizen inflicts a status ailment, the weakening will be there for 2 seconds, but then like 7 seconds after that, it's only drained. So damage to drain is the better play here. Ichigo, same exact build. This time though, full stamina, damage to drain. Let's jump into it. Alright then, so I will say it's kind of funny using 3 SP characters, but nonetheless using 3 SP characters with Vortexes, they're just going to be constantly going off one after another, right? Now, one thing I would say it's a bit annoying using, unfortunately, Aizen wasted his SA2 there. Having 2 SP characters that are reliant on inflicting a status ailment to get their max damage potential, because I'm not sure if both Ichigo and Noelle can consistently get the SP boost at the same time. You're kind of cycling between the 2, but it shouldn't matter all too much. Let's use our SA2 there into the 3. No point saving strong attacks. I'm actually going to use my Sobom into this particular phase, because the next boss, the final boss in particular, is a mind character. We have 2 SP characters, so even though we don't apply weakened defense on the final boss, Aizen should still be doing enough damage. And look at that. With the double weakened defense, that was great. That was like 1 strong attack from Aizen was enough to take down the boss. In this case, it looks like we're going at a good pace. We have 20 seconds left. We have all the vortexes going down. I've never seen a triple vortex go down before, but there we go. And with that, we had 15 seconds to spare. So there's definitely a few different characters you can bring. You don't need a triple max transcended team. But from the looks of it, if you want to have an easy time in this particular guild quest, having Aizen and Ichigo, the 6th and 7th anniversary versions, are really good if you have them duped out. If you did pull Noelle, you can make use of her, as we did just now. Didn't get a faster run compared to our other 2 teams, but this was technically our worst team since we did have a 1 out of 5 character as our lead. But Noelle is actually a pretty good lead. So for anyone that was like a bit disappointed with Noelle's performance in PvE content, she's still great in guild quests as a lead though. If you have a 5-5, you can definitely get a really fast clay time. A faster clay time at the very least. So with that said, that's the video for today, going over 3 different variations of a team to tackle the very hard guild quests. Teams that I personally been using and have found success. Let me know if you're using a different team in the console. Again, right now, everyone's kind of experimenting with different characters, different teams. So I'm kind of curious to see if anyone's come up with a different type of combination to beat at least a very hard guild quest. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care and peace.